Hi, I'm Titli and this is my busy garden. I'm starting off this week in the comparative warmth of the greenhouse. I mean, it's about 6 degrees, maybe 7 degrees in here. And I've got a nice warm cup of coffee too, to keep my hands warm. Now then, I went down to a garden centre this week and picked up a few goodies. I bought some primroses, more of what I'm going to do with those a bit later. I bought some seeds. I bought some alyssum seeds because I really love the fragrance of alyssum. And I bought some tomato seeds. I've decided, based on last year's performance, to go for some San Marzano again. Now, one of the issues I have is that my greenhouse isn't heated, which can be a bit of a problem when it comes to germinating seeds. But I picked up this. It's a windowsill greenhouse, and it means I can sow my seeds and keep them nice and warm in the house while they're germinating. So here's the plan, Stan. In these 12 cells, I'm going to plant some tomato plants, and in these 18 cells, I'm going to plant some chilli seeds. Now, I've decided I'm only going to grow one type of chilli this year, and that's these desi chilies, because last year I was just overwhelmed by chilies. I've got a bit of a problem in this greenhouse, apart from the fact it's kind of full of green, which I suppose is what a greenhouse is supposed to be full of. So the first job is to put some compost in each of these cells. I'm using a Johnny's seed compost. Give them a water, make sure the compost is nice and moist before we put the seeds in. So I'm going to start with my tomatoes. As I said, I'm planting some San Marzano, lovely plump Italian tomatoes, and I'm not going to plant them all. I'm just going to put one seed in each of 12 cells. And I know that some of them won't germinate, but that's fine because I only really want 2 or 3 plants this year. Then I'll just cover with about 1/4 inch of compost. And water again. Now for the chilies. So the first thing I need to do is crack this open. It's quite dry. Up and out come the seeds. And there's probably about 12 to 18 seeds here, which is perfect. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. So far so good. Sprinkle on some compost again. And water. In case you're wondering, that chilli that I've got the seeds from was from a plant I grew last year in this greenhouse. And lo, we pop the cells in the bottom tray, pop on the lid, and now I can put this inside on a windowsill. Now I can hear some of you saying, but Titli, you haven't labelled any of these. How do you know which are the tomato seeds and which are the chilli seeds? And this is why God gave us brains to work this out. Tomatoes on the outside. Let there be brain. Chilies on the inside. There's a song about that. Malcolm McLaren, I think it was. Tomato seeds go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Tomato seeds go round. So to finish off in the greenhouse this week, I just need to plant these alyssum seeds, sprinkle them onto some damp compost, sprinkle on some more compost up to about 1/4 inch deep, and give them a gentle water. These are quite hardy beasts, so I don't really need to start them germinating indoors. And finally, a little label. Well, I think that's all for this week in the greenhouse. I think I'll go and play with my poo. I'm sorry if you got the wrong impression at the end of that last segment. When I said what I meant was I'm going to top dress my raspberries with the manure that I bought at the garden centre this week. Ooh, it smells lovely. So rather than dig this in and run the risk of disturbing the roots, I'm just kind of laying it on the top and let rain and other things just kind of carry the nutrients down into the plant. It doesn't smell as bad as you might think, actually. Oh, by the way, I am wearing gloves. And I'll just very gently hoe it in a bit. I hope my raspberries thank me for this year. I think every garden has a little corner somewhere that kind of gets neglected or forgotten about. Well, I've got one as well. This bed here next to the hedge and by Strawberry Patch 2.0 tends to get left. Well, not anymore. It's about time I did something about it. I'll start by giving the bed a bit of a dig over and a weed. A good old weed, because there are some good old weeds in here. You've got strawberry plants over here. And assorted creepers. Well, I'm definitely winning. The soil is quite heavy here. Probably hasn't been dug over properly for a number of years. I'm having to be a bit careful as I dig along because you can see there are some bulbs poking their way through. Good-o. Well, it certainly looks a lot better now that it's been dug over. So now here's the plan. I've got a dozen primroses, which will go nicely in this bed, and I've also got some leftover bulbs which are starting to sprout. I might as well plant them. So, I'm going to put primroses here, here, and here, and sprouting bulbs here, 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 and here. No rock and roll this week. I'm having a rock and roll free week. In fact, I'm having a rock and roll free year so far. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Excellent. Very nice. And to finish, I'll give the primroses a good watering. Well, I have to say, I'm rather pleased with the transformation of that bed. And here endeth this week in Titli's Busy Garden. There probably won't be a Titli's Busy Garden next week, but I should be back the week after, God willing. Thanks for watching, and do join me next time in Titli's Busy Garden.